what the community looked like before the fire, what the community looked like after fire. UCLA was at our conference on Saturday, and I've been working with them, and they did a huge map to show the disparities. But if you don't point that out to people, they don't think about it because most people are just living their lives. So I point out environmental injustice, how in the west side where majority of the Black people live, and in the east side where the Caucasian people live, less trees on the west side, more trees on the east side. Well, you wouldn't think to look at that, but I pointed out to them and I showed them the parks. I said, in this park, that's in the Black community, that's named after a Black artist, Charles White, there are about 10 trees in the park. Then we go over to the east side and I physically let them see, I said, you can't even count the trees, there's so many beautiful trees in Farnsworth Park. So I show them the difference and talk about environment and justice, where if you have trees, it makes your breathe, it's a health issue. You get more oxygen, and people are more inclined to go out and walk in the morning and exercise. So I explain that, and the reason I take the time to explain that, because we have an opportunity to try to fix what was intentionally done wrong. And then I point out the difference of how injustice was done in Pasadena, where they eminent domain because of the 210 and 710 freeway. Then most of those African Americans were moved into Altadena in 1960. Prior to that, they didn't let them there, but they were all pushed to one side of the community, and how the lots are smaller. And I talk about psychological things that happen when you live in a smaller space as opposed to a lot that's huge, how your thinking is. And so those things are important. And I was able to get a lot of corporations and foundations. I said, stop just throwing money away, connect with the community and understand what the needs are and treat people with a level of dignity. So I've been instrumental in really trying to have an impact on how money is distributed. And that's the part of the tours that I've taken. And people just were calling me, and because they went on a tour, I've taken every federal person on a tour. And then I provide books for them that I tell them are historical because I only give it to those that go on the tour. So they became a hot commodity. But anyway,
you need to bring
so
some
we're
of those
doing
books
some
to us so we
ongoing
can
work.
see them.
And it's and it's women that are leading the charge. Although I do meet with the Black clergy every other week, and then I meet with community leaders once a month. And we're going to have a huge event sometime in May that will be ongoing for the entire community that was impacted. So we're just trying to make a difference for the community that oftentimes is overlooked. They're not less than or they're just completely overlooked, and statistics show that.
Yeah. So, speaking of statistics, I have a few I wanted to share. I'm not sure if you know that of the 17 people that were killed in the Eaton fire, 18.
They found another
body. Found one more. Okay. Of the 18 people that were killed, I don't know the other person, but of the 18 people that were killed in the Eaton fire, more than 70% were Black.
No, all 17 of them were Black that were killed in the Altadena Eaton fire, and they were all from the west side. I have pictures of all
the 18,
all 17. The 18th person, I just found out about that about 3 weeks ago.
Okay, and it was reported that 64% were women. And those killed by the fire had a median age of 77, and at least a third of them suffered impairments that could affect their mobility. Nearly a third of those killed in the Eaton fire suffered from a disability. An overview of the Los Angeles fires indicated that property damages estimated range from 28 billion to 53.8 billion. Business disruptions may cause between 4.6 billion to 8.9 billion in loss of economic output in LA County over the next 5 years. Employment loss, it was projected between 24,990 to 49,110 jobs lost. Tax revenue loss for federal, state, and local governments range from 73 billion to 1.4 billion. And this source is from the Los Angeles County Economic Development, so you can check it out yourself. And also from the Southern California Leadership Conference Wildfire Study Executive Summit. So I just want you to know we're still is still in our hearts and we're still thinking about it. And that's why I asked the commissioners to do an in-reach. That's why I asked to have the call to action. Because it is still in our hearts, and these are women and girls that have, they're in our community in Los Angeles County. And I thought, what could we do to support? And I thought the best way I knew how we could reach out was to reach out to those women and girls that were sponsoring our Resilient Scholarship recipients and talk to them and do a check-in, do an in-reach. That was my call to action to you. I know we don't have all of our members here today. So if any of you want to speak about your call to action, who you spoke with, I'll let some of you speak, and then we'll continue the conversation next month when all the other commissioners are here as well.
I just have one question for her. I have one question for her. I don't know, about like, you said that you were reaching on the seniors to get, like into different programs. Do the seniors, because many of the seniors sometimes they're afraid to talk to people about give special, information, personal information. It was not difficult for you to get to them and make it then to sign for you, because sometimes for them it's harder, because I work with senior and they're afraid to like even talk about you're gonna help me, why you gonna help me. So it's
You're
something.
absolutely correct. And so the beautiful part about my relationship with the community is that I've been there all my life. And so many people know me. And I was just having this conversation this morning. I said, half of what I do is build trust. And I was talking to a group, California Community Foundation. They have a boatload of money and they started another program. And what I said to them, I said, you have to start off with truth. When you tell people the truth and you're direct and you're honest with them, that's the beginning of building a relationship of trust. Once people trust you, they release information to you. And you're absolutely right. There's a lot of pushback and resistance because people may not know, but it's surprising how people will tell and do things with me because they know of my family or my family's name. They end up giving me information that they would otherwise not give to anybody else. And so my goal is to help them to educate. I have a group of about 40 women that are working with me. Most of them are first ladies of churches and female pastors that just on the senior summit, that's just one component of what I'm doing. But they give us information because what we're trying to do right now with them is that we have until tomorrow to get all of them signed up to opt in or opt out to have the U.S. Army Corps come in and clean up their land. And that's a mandatory thing for them to do in order to rebuild. But you're absolutely right. Trust is an issue and they don't trust everybody.
Right.
And you have to have people around them. And that's why it's so important when outsiders are coming into the community, just taking advantage of some of the seniors.
And that's why I wanted us to do the in-reach. I asked every commissioner to do a call to action. Have you guys been able to make your phone?
I wanted to ask a question. Are all of the students that are scholarship recipients, were they all impacted by the fire? That was one of the questions I wanted to ask.
Well, that's why we wanted you guys to call to find out.
Oh, okay.
That was the call to action, and we divided it up. I want to thank commission staff for dividing everything up by district. And so we divided it up by district, and we asked everyone to make phone calls for their district to those young ladies, to speak with the commissioners, speak to your group in your district, and divide up the list to decide who you were going to speak to. I sent an email out to everyone when I completed my update. I'm sure you guys saw my email, just letting everyone know that I did make my calls and I did have a chance to speak. And they were so excited and so grateful that I called them to check in with them. And one student is completing her MA and her BA at the same time. And and she did not know that she could apply for the Resilient Scholarship for the following year. So that broke my heart because I wish I'm going to use that as a learning opportunity with commission staff to see what we can do to automatically send letters to those recipients so that they know that they can reapply. And she was really grateful. No one had been impacted specifically by the fire, but they had people that they knew that had been impacted. And they were just delighted that we thought enough of them to just call and just say, hey, how are you? How are you doing? And they said, oh, I remember you from the scholarship luncheon. Thank you so much for checking in. It means so much to me. And I think I talked maybe an hour on one and maybe 50 minutes on the other one. I mean, the conversation got pretty extensive and it was wonderful. And I felt good when I did it because I felt, okay, I need to do this more often just to make sure everyone is doing well.
Right.
You know, and this is the work that we do because we're commissioners and these are
Right.
young women that are in our district. And that's why we wanted to make sure that they were in your district so you could have a chance to connect. So I'm not gonna go into a lot about what I did because I already sent my email out and maybe I'll follow up next month. I want to hear from you. What did you guys do?
Sure, I can start. I connected with two students. One, we were just texting each other. She's in Massachusetts, so we weren't really impacted by the fires, but she's really enjoying college. She's studying, I think, sociology and math, so still exploring, but she's trying some new things like jazz and rap. I think she's talked about a lot of the new exciting things going on. That was good. That was like a more quick interaction. The other one was so rich. It's like the conversation you had. Actually took her out for lunch. We had sandwiches together. We took selfies together. She was so, she was definitely overjoyed. So like what you had in your experience. She also shared with me, she's completing her master's thesis, focusing on the importance of workplace flexibility. So basically telecommuting for parents, especially single mothers. That's her case. So her name is Diana. For those of you who remember her from the luncheon we had, she lost her mom when we had the lunch and she updated me about what has been going on, the challenges that she's really powered through, and she really was grateful about the community and we are sharing with her here. And the research she's doing is directly relevant to how she felt it is really important, especially in government works, to have that flexibility. And I offered, I'm a librarian, so I offered to do research and support her research. I was looking forward to actually report back about the outcome of that research. But she's also working full time. I think for the county, she shared it's a position, like an entry level position, but she's really looking forward to moving up and to having more impact in the future. That was a very good experience.
That is
I'm glad
wonderful.
that was a wonderful suggestion and the decision that we made to do Enrich.
Thank you for that. And you know what? Keep those pictures because maybe we can put those pictures in the commemorative book or the video. And we can do, we can list it as call to action and we can see, you know, what were the results of that. I love that. Wow, that makes me feel good. If
But
you
it's
actually went to
luncheon.
lunch.
Yeah, or this year's rewards, I mean, the scholarship events.
I know that the three women that I talked to, also from the third district, none of them had been impacted by the fire. And it's interesting that two of the three were pursuing careers in psychology as an outgrowth of their own personal experiences. So I thought that was really commendable to be able to have somebody that has that firsthand, you know, trauma experiences and then to apply an academic lens to it and be able then to be able to go into being either in a teaching role or as a therapist. So I was, you know, really pleased to talk to them and pleased that they were not impacted by the fire.
And have they completed their degrees yet?
No.
So they're still
Yeah.
working on their degrees?
Yeah, I think one is graduating in like May or June. I put it all in an Excel sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, she's so organized. She sent us back. I think.
No, I didn't, I said I didn't make the Excel, the Excel
Yeah.
spreadsheet.
So
That was Violet that made
Oh,
the
yeah.
Excel sheet.
so updates. In this.
Yeah. But it was good, yeah.
And you put your information on the Excel sheet as
Not
well?
yet.
Okay.
That's why I was saying like, yours
Oh,
is nice. Yes, I'll do that later. I'll
Okay.
work on that.
Because we're gonna use that summary for our book and our end of the year report to show the results. Because I wanted to know, for the resilient scholarships, Is it helping? Are they completing their degrees? Is this a useful, initiative that we have? And, what else can we do to help you? So this is wonderful. Thank you. Anyone else?
I just have a report.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
yet.
Not yet. That's okay. That's okay. That's a great start. So that, I hope that gives inspiration to the others who will be
Right. Yeah.
following up with their, resilient scholarship recipients. So just connect with your colleagues in your district and, it's fun, it's easy, a text, a call. I'm Commissioner Kennedy, I'm Commissioner Johnson, I'm Commissioner Diaz, just want to check in with you. Commissioner Gorman, just want to know how you're doing. Commissioner Castanon, just checking in, seeing how you're doing. What can I do to help you? I'm Commissioner Versosa. How are you doing today? Just a check-in. You'll feel good as a commissioner doing this work, so thank you for that. And we'll continue next month, not putting anyone on the spot because we said we would do it this month and next month, so we'll conclude next month, so easy. Okay, the next item, any questions for me? No? Okay. The next item, we just gave you an updated roster, so you don't have to look at it now, but just wanted you to know it includes Commissioner Alexa Castanon and others, and updated our information. So you can look at it. If anything, hopefully it looks appropriate and you guys are okay. If not, just let me know later and we'll make corrections. I just wanted to give you an updated roster. You can put that in your binder that I gave you. Thanks, Commissioner Staff. I'm trying to keep you guys organized because I know you guys are very busy, got a lot going on. So, and the next item I wanted to just let you know is that the Los Angeles County Commission on Human Relations 48th Annual John Anson Human Relations Award. I attended their celebration last month and they presented the commission and I with an award for, we received the first inaugural Human Relations Award I did on the elimination, on the Convention for Elimination of Discrimination Against All Women, for the work that was done to really, we worked with the LA County Board of Supervisors for the CEDAW Challenge. We worked with LA County Board of Supervisors to initiate the ordinance to eliminate discrimination against all women. And as you know, LA County is the largest jurisdiction in the country. And so, as you all know, this is a treaty, a UN United Nations treaty that is taking place in other countries. It hasn't taken place yet in the US, but we're hopeful that we'll do it one city, one county at a time. So as a result of the work that we did, and I want to give credit to Nancy Vermeaux because Nancy is the one that lit the fire for me. When I first came on as commissioner and I chaired the Policy and Legislation Committee, I met Nancy. And Nancy told me all about CEDA. And I didn't even know a lot about CEDA. And she educated me about CEDA and the work. And I volunteered to take that work on and help to support the initiative. And that initiative led to the supervisors, LA County Board of Supervisors agreeing to create an ordinance to eliminate discrimination against all women, which led to the Women in Growth Initiative under CEO Chanel Smith to create an initiative to do a pay equity gap study to find out what are the inequities of women in Los Angeles County. And that study showed a variety of things and they're taking it to a variety of different departments now. So it started with me working with Nancy, with Women in Growth Initiative, creating the study, Caroline and Chanel Smith and Elisa, and doing that work. And so they all presented us with the award, and it was just an honor to receive that and be a part of that. Just wanted you guys to know that. And the last, my call as in our president's report is we need readers for the scholarship resilient recipients, that our next year's scholarship resilient recipients. So I don't remember what the final numbers are that we have.
185 applications.
We have 185 applications. So we need volunteers. That's a lot for us. You know, we're all balancing our work and commission work. So if you are able to, we have one. Commissioner Friedman volunteered.
I already volunteered.
Okay, we have Commissioner So Perkins.
I can do
Okay,
it.
Commissioner Kennedy. I know Gorman already is on it.
I'm on the committee.
Yeah. Voluntold.
Oh, we have Commissioner Diaz. Oh, we're rocking and rolling.
Yeah, full.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
Casper,
told
no.
Commissioner Anderson already.
Hmm?
Yeah, she knows, Commissioner Anderson knows already, I told her.
Okay, okay.
Is,
She's don't give me too much. It's few of it.
Can you,
We all do it. It's not gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
can you talk about the time frame?
You know what? I cannot
I
talk
can't.
about
I
the
have-
time
I can't.
confidently. I think Commissioner Gorman can do that. She's
Yeah, let me just
co-chair.
find the notes
Okay.
from our meeting, hold up.
And when we
So
are
we were-
giving it, you remember I have to do the flowers.
I have it
Maybe the
here.
flowers.
Oh, yeah, Commissioner Costello, we'll let you know once the date is set for the final,
Okay,
talking about for the reception, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so they were we'll try to get them assigned today. And we were asking for a deadline for reviews by the 30th, so by the end of the month. And we'll have an update at the next committee meeting.
So you won't see the updates today because of the number of applications
Yes, because they were 55
at the time.
at the time last month, and they're up to 185, you said?
So we're still sorting through, well, you
So-
have to imagine it's the application and then each recipient has their two scholarship letters of recommendation. So you
Yeah.
gotta match that with the applicant to verify if you need a full packet in order for it to be considered.
Right.
And then from there, the packets can be created and then signed. But we're still sorting through all those.
Okay, so we'll need to just extend that time frame.
Okay. So we'll probably come up with a revised schedule probably
Yes.
at the next meeting.
Yeah.
Or if something changes in between, I'm sure you and Commissioner Anderson could send a notice out to everyone.
so if it is a little bit longer time frame, then I can probably volunteer. I just didn't want to volunteer in the time frame because I wasn't sure I would
It's
be
gonna
able
be
to.
longer.
It'll
Yeah.
be longer.
Okay,
Yes.
Well,
And it's,
and I guess then you don't know how many each of us will get because you don't know how many volunteers there are yet.
Well, we don't know how many will, so out of the 185, we still have to vet every application.
Right, we don't know how many complete applications we'll have.
Right.
Mhm.
there's 185 possible, but then you're still,
Yeah.
you're
Have to
still.
make sure they turned in all their recommendations and everything.
Yeah, there may be fewer.
In the bus, how many people there were?
Commissioner Johnson?
Yeah, so will we be notified then
Yeah.
We'll probably have an
and
idea.
send it to us?
We'll probably be able to, we'll be in touch with Commissioner Dr. Gorman and Treasurer Anderson. We'll probably have an idea mid next week about how far we are and when we can get them out.
Okay, so we'll have to extend the time frame.
Yeah.
But
And it's actually, it's not that time consuming because it's in a form. And so you can get through them fairly quickly.
It's very well organized. We'll
Yes.
talk more about it. There's a rubric and everything. It's
Yeah.
Really, they did a great job simplifying it from back in the day when we used to do it.
You have to get on the call, do one-on-one.
Oh, yeah,
Go
yeah.
through it.
Yes. Commissioner Friedman did,
Oh, we did do it.
yeah, we did do that.
If you have a video that we use now that we have, I think it's Treasurer Anderson put it together.
Yeah, we did.
So there's a recording that'll go out.
Commissioner Friedman and then Commissioner So Perkins.
I would just request, because I will only do this on the weekends, so if we could have at least 2 weekends, if not 3 would be preferable,
Okay.
when you figure out the time.
That is something to share with Commissioner Dr. Gorman and Treasurer Anderson. They'll make that decision.
So noted.
Can you note that?
I did.
Okay. Commissioner So Perkins.
That's a good point. Yeah, at least 2 weekends if we can. But also I was gonna share, I did this last year. It felt daunting in the beginning, but as you get the hang of
You
it,
get a
because the
rhythm.
rubric, it's so easy. But at the same time, you get a lot out of it, like the inspiration that you get from what these women has had to overcome or have had to overcome. It's just, you gain a lot of insight and appreciation and inspiration from it as well.
Thank you all for volunteering.
Thank
I
you.
really appreciate it. I really do. Okay, we're gonna go on to staff report on various items.
This will call for public comment. If there are any members of the public who wish to make public comment, please press *3. If you're using the smart device or computer, please use the raise your hand feature. And we do have virtual public comment today. Give me just a moment and we'll pull that up. So the first hand was from Audit LA. Audit LA, you will have 2 minutes. 1 second here. Go ahead, Audit LA. Audit LA, you're unmuted.
Yes, hi. Yes, I'm calling because I want to discuss something that I don't think that you're aware of. That, you know, well, I'm sure you're probably aware that they allow child brides in California. There's no minimum age to when you can get married as long as you have parental permission. And that the Church of Scientology is under accusation right now of just such a thing where somebody was sexually violated by, she claims of sexual violation by somebody in the Sea Org. She's in the Sea Org. She was 16, and she claims that she was forced to get married as a child bride to cover up the crimes of, you know, of the person. And there's other accusations of that as well. And so for women to be protected, I just want to put that on your radar. There's also a lot of women that have come forward saying they had, if they're in the Sea Org, they are required to have abortions if they get pregnant, or else they have, or they get kicked out. There's also family separation. There's a lot of abuse that seems to be, that is accused of by people who have left Scientology, and it seems to be a common story and a common theme. And I know all of it has not been litigated yet, but you can't even, it's hard to get the government to even hear and listen. We've had, there's been victims that have come up to the police commission themselves saying that they were raped and molested, you know, while in, you know, in Sea Org. And it doesn't seem like the police are doing anything. So I just want to put that on your radar, that the child brides, that is an issue, and that there's a lot of women who have come out of Sea Org and said that they have suffered tremendously. Thank you.
Thank you. Time. All right, next we have a public comment from Henry Marini.
WebEx
Henry, go
Assistant
ahead.
is enabled to save audio
You have
highlights.
2
Yes.
minutes.
Good afternoon. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. I just want to echo some of the points that my good friend Audit LA mentioned. I've been helping not just her, but many other victims figure out how to navigate the murky waters and get some semblance of justice as they are now adults, but have suffered just horrendous crimes under being sexually violated as children by the organization known as Scientology. There is indeed a child bride case. It's not the only major case happening. There is a major RICO case against the leader of Scientology presently, known as David Miscavige. I've met with many of the survivors myself, and in fact, a couple of months ago, I bared witness to 2 young girls who could not have been more than the age of 12, actually fleeing the location on 4810 West Sunset Boulevard, where they were fleeing for their life. And it's a common story where children are trapped into Scientology. Many of them are trafficked and are given a false promise of getting a passport, but in fact, they never do. Their visas are withheld, and what happens is they get trafficked into all manner of sexually heinous crimes, as well as slave labor. That's what is known as people inside this slave labor group known as the Sea Org. And not only that, but there have been many victims that have come forward themselves. There's many. One particular woman, Laura Anderson, is a local and is a very passionate advocate. And so we just want to put that on your radar, that Scientology does abuse women. Thank you.
That's your time. Okay, so that concludes virtual public comment. We did not receive any written public comment, and there are no members of the public present for in-person public comment. President Dr. Smith?
And there are no other comments from the commission regarding my report? Okay, thank you. Now we'll have staff report on various items and correspondence.
Yeah, real quickly, actually, there's a girls' day, a sports day in LA. If anybody's interested, it's taking place on May 17th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right, cool. That was it. That was the moment I wanted to capture. All right. Gonna cut it off here now. Yep.